but I think for the Packers, like there is this like, if you're super young, there is this naiveness and just like youthful joy that you really don't understand the pressure. And like, I remember, and I think that's a great thing, by the way. Like, I think it's a great thing. It reminds me of 2001 when Tom Brady was a rookie and he's out there playing on a 2-minute drive in the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not sure he fully felt the pressure of that the way that he felt the pressure in later Super Bowls. Like, I remember, like, you know, like for me, when people talk Packers Seahawks, they probably think first of the interception that I threw to Al Harris in the 2003 wild card game. That was our first wild card. But like, I mean, there's actually some awesome stuff for me in that game, in that was a game we didn't expect to be in the playoffs. It was our first one. No one believed in us. I don't think we believed in us. And we had played the Packers earlier that year, and it was all tense. It was like, oh my gosh, you're going back playing your old team. Like, you better, you know, control your emotions and, you know, don't get too high and, you know, don't have too much fun. This is really important. And like, that's how I played, and that's how we played in that first matchup. In the second matchup, the wild card, it was like this free gift. I didn't know I was going to get to go back to Lambeau in the winter, and like it was like so cool. And I just remember one of the lessons that I learned from being there, like with Brett, it was like, don't make this a job. Like, make this super fun. Cut it loose. Like, do what got you here. And what got you here? What got you here was like balling out with your friends, like on Thanksgiving, like in cold weather, having fun, cutting it loose. And that's the best way to play. That's how he played. And, you know, there's a fine line there, you know, like where you got to like, kind of like in golf, like cut it loose, have no fear. And yet also like, you know, use your brain a little bit. So like, there's a fine line, but yeah. So like, I think that was like one of the games for me in my career where I learned, and that was in 2003 season playoff, where I learned to actually do it. And, you know, the next year we lost in the wild card on the last play of the game and a pass in the end zone. But I think it was those two losses that, at least in Seattle for us, when we went on a run, those two losses helped propel us to the Super Bowl the next year in 2005. And I don't know. So like, I really just sitting in all these meetings with NFL coaches as a player over the course of like 18 years, you see that these coaches are trying to get the team to have something really unique and special in terms of camaraderie, in terms of like cut it loose, play fast. And teams like the Packers, these young teams, like you can have it naturally, and like they have it naturally, you know. So if you can get it, take advantage of it while you have it. And I see that in them recently. I see them in the pack. I see that in this young Packers team. They are the youngest team in the league, and they don't play like it, but they do, in the sense that they're just out there cutting it loose, having fun, and they don't even, oh wait, what? Seattle's like a really hard place to play. Yeah, we're gonna open the game with like with two passes. Oh, we're gonna, you know, audible at the line of scrimmage. We're gonna use a hard count. We're gonna, like, we don't care, like, you know. And it's just like such a contagious thing, and it was cool to see. If you like, you know, rooting for underdog situations, I thought it was really cool to see.
But this concept of Green Bay just not knowing what they don't know, right? You're right. I think there are a lot of coaches that would love to instill that feeling into their players, and they're probably studying speeches at all hours of the night, trying to figure out how to get my team to play loose and play free. But it's almost like telling one of your friends who's, you know, stressing out over something, like, quit stressing out. Like, just relax. Why can't you just relax? Like, it's not going to do anything. Like, you either have it or you don't, most of the time. And Green Bay's in this great spot where they kind of do have that playoff loss to learn from. San Francisco last year, Jordan Love throwing it across his body. They gave that game away, yet they're still so young that you can just kind of get on a roll and play freely.
For the latest and greatest in football journalism, subscribe at golongtd.com.